History remembers the Titans, Gettysburg, Antietam, Shiloh. These names are etched into the annals of history, forever remembered for their scale and significance. Names etched in infamy, soaked in blood, echoing with the cries of thousands. These battles are immortalized in textbooks, documentaries, and the collective memory of a nation. But what about the smaller battles, the skirmishes lost in the fog of war? These lesser-known confrontations, often overshadowed by their larger counterparts, played crucial roles in the broader conflict. Do they deserve to be forgotten? No. These battles, though smaller in scale, were no less significant in their impact. They were the turning points, the moments of unexpected heroism and strategy. These seemingly insignificant clashes often shifted momentum, altered strategies, and ultimately shaped the destiny of nations. The outcomes of these skirmishes could change the course of a campaign, influencing the decisions of generals and the morale of troops. They are the unsung battles, whispers in the grand symphony of war, yet their melodies resonate through time. The letters and diaries of soldiers tell tales of bravery and fear, of comrades lost and victories won in these forgotten corners of the battlefield. These forgotten corners of history hold stories of courage, sacrifice, and the unpredictable nature of war. Acts of valor and selflessness were not confined to the grand stages of Gettysburg or Antietam, but were also found in the hidden skirmishes and minor engagements. They remind us that victory and defeat are often decided not on grand battlefields, but in the heart of a forgotten forest, where the sunlight barely breaks through the dense canopy, and the ground is littered with the remnants of conflict. On the banks of a muddy river, where soldiers waded through the water, their boots sinking into the mud, carrying the weight of their hopes and fears. Or in the shadow of a lonely fort, standing as a silent witness to the struggles and sacrifices of those who fought there. These places, though often overlooked, are the true heartbeats of history, reminding us that every battle, no matter how small, has its own story to tell. October 8, 1862. Kentucky bleeds. The air, thick with humidity and the stench of gunpowder, crackles with tension. Confederate forces, thirsty and desperate, stumble upon the Chaplin River near the town of Perryville. Union soldiers, equally weary from days of marching, clash with their southern counterparts in a chaotic struggle for control of the vital water source. The Battle of Perryville, though tactically inconclusive, proved to be a strategic turning point. Confederate hopes for reclaiming Kentucky, a border state crucial for its resources and manpower, were dashed. The South would never again threaten the North so deeply. Perryville, a name whispered in history books, had altered the course of the war. June 7th, 1863. A date etched in the annals of history, marking a pivotal moment in the American Civil War. The Mississippi River, a serpent winding through the heart of the Confederacy, becomes a battleground. This mighty river, a crucial artery for both the Union and the Confederacy, is the lifeline that both sides desperately seek to control. At Milliken's Bend, Louisiana, a force of recently recruited African-American soldiers, their courage burning brighter than the southern sun, stands defiant. These men, many of whom were former slaves, now don the Union blue, ready to fight for their freedom and the promise of a new life. They face a Confederate assault, a desperate attempt to break the Union siege of Vicksburg. The Confederates, determined to reclaim control of the Mississippi, launch a ferocious attack, hoping to shatter the resolve of the Union forces. The fighting is brutal, hand to hand. Bayonets clash and the air is thick with the smoke of gunfire. The battlefield becomes a chaotic melee, where every inch of ground is fiercely contested. The Union soldiers, though inexperienced, fight with the ferocity of men determined to prove their worth. Their resolve is unyielding, their determination unbreakable. They know that their fight is not just for a piece of land, but for the very ideals of freedom and equality. They repulse the Confederate attack, securing the Union supply line and solidifying the inevitable fall of Vicksburg. Their victory at Milliken's Bend ensures that the Union forces can continue their siege, tightening the noose around the Confederate stronghold. Milliken's Bend, a seemingly insignificant bend in the river, becomes a testament to the unwavering spirit of those who fought for freedom. This battle, though small in scale, carries immense significance. It stands as a powerful reminder of the bravery and sacrifice of the African American soldiers who fought valiantly for their freedom and the Union cause. April 12, 1864, Fort Pillow, Tennessee. The Mississippi River flows nearby, a silent witness to the unfolding horror. Confederate forces, led by the notorious Nathan Bedford Forrest, storm the fort, manned primarily by black Union soldiers. What ensues is not war, but butchery. The massacre at Fort Pillow, a stain on the honor of war, sent shockwaves through the nation. It became a rallying cry for the North, fueling the fires of abolition and hardening the resolve to crush the Confederacy. Fort Pillow, a place of unspeakable tragedy, became a symbol of the brutal reality of a nation divided. Section 5. Echoes of Forgotten Battles. These battles and countless others like them may not hold the same prominence as Gettysburg or Shiloh, but they were crucibles, forging the destiny of a nation. They were the moments when the tide turned, when strategies shifted, when heroes rose from obscurity and villains revealed their true faces. The impact of these skirmishes resonated far beyond the immediate aftermath. They influenced public opinion, swayed political decisions, and shaped the social fabric of a nation grappling with its demons. They were the echoes of war, whispering tales of courage, sacrifice, and the enduring human spirit. Section 6. The butterfly effect of warfare. In the tapestry of history, these smaller battles are the intricate threads that connect the grander narratives. They remind us that even the smallest action can have monumental consequences. A single bullet, a courageous stand, a moment of hesitation, all can tip the scales of fate. The butterfly effect, a concept borrowed from chaos theory, suggests that even the smallest change in initial conditions can lead to vastly different outcomes. This is especially true in war, where the fog of uncertainty hangs heavy and the line between victory and defeat can be razor thin. Section 7. History's tapestry, woven with small threads. We must remember that history is not merely a collection of dates and names of grand battles and famous generals. It is not just a series of events marked by the rise and fall of empires or the victories and defeats on the battlefield. It is, in its essence, a human story. A story that is deeply personal and profoundly collective at the same time. And like all human stories, it is filled with nuances, complexities, and unexpected turns. It is the letters written home, the daily struggles of families, and the silent prayers of those waiting for their loved ones to return. The smaller battles, often overlooked, provide a richer, more complete understanding of this complex tapestry. These lesser-known skirmishes and personal acts of bravery add depth to our understanding of the past. They allow us to see the war through the eyes of ordinary soldiers, to walk in their shoes and to experience their daily lives, to feel the weight of their decisions, the burden of their choices, and the emotions that drove them, to understand the true cost of conflict. The aftermath of battles, the tending to the wounded, and the silent moments of reflection all paint a vivid picture of the human cost of war. They remind us that history is not just made by presidents and generals, but by countless individuals whose names may never appear in history books, but by everyday people caught in the crossfire. Their stories, their sacrifices, and their resilience are the threads that weave the rich tapestry of our shared history. Section 8. Honoring the Unsung, a Legacy Remembered. As we commemorate the anniversaries of the Civil War, let us not forget the unsung battles, the forgotten skirmishes. Let us remember the men and women who fought and died in relative obscurity, their sacrifices no less significant for their lack of renown. Let us visit the battlefields, now quiet and overgrown, and listen for the whispers of the past. Let us read the letters, diaries, and memoirs of those who were there, and allow their stories to transport us back to those pivotal moments in time. Section 9. Conclusion. the enduring significance of small battles. For in the end, it is the sum of these smaller stories, these forgotten battles, that truly shapes our understanding of the past. They remind us that history is not preordained, but rather a fluid, ever-changing narrative, shaped by the actions of countless individuals, both great and small. Let us never forget their sacrifices, their courage, and their enduring impact on the course of history.